Hello friends, hope you're doing well. My name is Dr. Milind Chinna. I have done my MD Pediatrics from AIMS Bhopal. So today we are here to talk about INICT. So what is INICT? It's a common entrance test for institutes of national importance. So it's a dream for every medicos that someday they want to study in institute. So INICT serve as a common portal for admission in 8 AIMS, JIPMER, which is in Pondicherry, PGI Chandigarh, and NIMHANS. Earlier, there used to be a different exam for each of these institutes. Like AIMS had a single common test of a single correct answer. PGI Chandigarh used to have a multiple choice answers. JIPMER also used to have a single choice question and mainly new advances and recently approved drugs. And NIMHANS had its own different exam. So now they all have come together and they are giving you common emphasis. So what is the benefit of INICT? That there is a less wastage of seat because now there is only one counseling. So one candidate cannot hold multiple seats in a different institute. So that is a very good thing for us, the student, because you can get your dream branch at a very decent rank. Second thing that you have to prepare now only for one exam. So there is no traveling to multiple cities because PJ Chandigarh exam used to happen only in Chandigarh. So you have to travel all the way to Chandigarh and next week. And again, you have to write the AIMS exam and the JIPMER exam. So now there is only a single exam. So these are the positive of this examination. Also AIMS, whenever you are thinking about AIMS exam, AIMS is always full of surprises that you cannot predict. AIMS will always start something new. As you can see now in NEET PG exam or in any other exam, you see a lot of image-based, clinical-based questions. So AIMS was something that started all this. So whenever you are preparing for INICT, you should be ready for the surprises. Okay. So today we will talk about that what should be your exam day strategy, because I always say that whenever you are preparing for the exam, 50% is the preparation and 50% is how you prepare on the day of exam. Because whatever you have studied for a few months, you have to connect everything and you have to perform best on the exam day. So let's talk about what should be your mindset on the exam day, how many questions to attempt, and what should be your approach. So as I always say, the preparation starts one day prior to exam. So exam dates are out. NICT is scheduled on 14th of November. So what I would like to tell you guys, that you stop studying in the evening of one day prior to the exam, like around 7 p.m. Because next day you are going to write next day is going to be one of the most important day of your life. This exam is going to complete your dream. Your mind should be relaxed, your brain should be relaxed. You have been studying for last 6 months, last 1 year continuously. Your brain is fatigued. Now, when you want your brain to perform to its level best, you should give it a rest. If you study till late night, then you will have anxiety, you will be panicking, so you won't be able to sleep properly, you won't be able to rest properly, and next day, obviously, you won't be able to perform. So, what I would like to advise you guys that one day prior, try to sleep early, because no matter how much you try, you are going to have difficulty falling asleep. So if you start early, there are good chances that in next few hours you will be able to fall asleep. Then have a good food. Try to eat fruits and try to eat from a hygienic place. Because most of the times what happens if you're ordering or if you're not eating at all, but if prior or if you're eating from such a random place, if you have some stomach upset next day, it's not a good option. Also keep some anti-acid medication ready for the next day, because when you get up, most of the times you're under stress. So there's a lot of acidity, and no, I have heard and I myself have experienced this things. You should take that medication so you will be relaxed. Always keep some fruit like banana that you can have in the early morning, because sometimes you don't want to eat other kind of breakfast. So these things are as important as attempting for the exam. Also, one day prior, make sure that you have your admit card printed and ready, and you should have your ID card ready. So, what happens particularly for AIMS examination? So, you must have entered your details like your Aadhaar card, driving license, or your passport details on your application detail that you are going to carry this particular ID card for the exam center. Sometimes what happens, you're not able to find it, or sometimes you will, if you are not able to find the ID card which you have mentioned in your admit card. So you have to file an FIR. So if you are living in Delhi, Delhi has a online FIR system, and they will generate one FIR certificate that you have to mail to the Assistant Controller of Examination of AIMS. So they will update your new ID card. They will mention that detail in your admit card, because whatever if you are giving your Aadhaar card, passport, or driving license in your admit card, only that you have to carry in the exam session. So you don't have to carry on the last moment. So check your ID 1 day, 1 week, at least 1 week prior to the exam, and keep it ready. Also check your examination center. Most of the times, there will be lot you won't be able to, because the exam will be in the morning session. So sometimes you won't get a cab. Maybe if you're traveling by metro, you have to plan your travel accordingly. You have to spare at least 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Okay, because anything can happen, and you have been preparing for such examination for so many times. So don't let any factor spoil the day for you. So now when you reach the examination center, if you're writing the exam for the first time, so this is an online exam. So initially there is a biometric. So they want to check the authenticity of the candidate. So they will be taking your thumbprint, your real-time picture. They will check you are not supposed to carry, especially for the girls, you are not supposed to carry any earrings, any necklace, or any metal ornament. And they strictly, I have seen a lot of issues happening at the exam center. So do not carry this. Keep it at home. Do not carry any metal object, because there is no safekeeping. And if you're traveling alone, then again it's an issue. So do not carry any valuables. Do not carry any such things which will create, because this will create unnecessary panic, because you're not there to fight with the guard or anyone. There you are there to write an exam. Okay. So after biometric, you will be allowed to enter the exam. Also, it's basically a computer lab. There will be a lot of computer system, and usually the entry is very early. So suppose exam starts at 9, so they will let you enter at around 8 o'clock. So 1 hour you have to sit there. 10 minutes prior to the exam, they will ask you to enter. So there will be already a ID of the candidate. Also, you have to check whether your name and photo is displayed on the system. If your name and photo is not displayed, or it doesn't match with your ID, then you have to inform. Then 10 minutes prior to the exam, you have to enter your candidate ID as a password, and then you will see the instructions about. They will tell you that what will be the examination, how many questions would be there, what is the marking pattern, and how you should answer the question, how you should select the option if you're not familiar with the exam interface. So once you enter the details, you have to agree with the consent. So there will be consent at the end, and then you can start your exam. So once you start the exam, the question will start displaying. So I have tried my best to replicate the I have tried my best to show you guys that how this exam appears. So as I told you that this is an INICET. So these are few institutes for which it serves as a common entrance test. This is an online test. The duration would be for 180 minutes. That is 3 hours. So there will be around 200 multiple choice questions will be given for you. So once you enter your exam, so this is a kind of, it might be different. This is what I am, the kind of questions I have talked to some candidates who have already written INICET, and this is also what we have also written, but now we had a different kind of exam, but the interface would be nearby same. So there will be such question displayed, that what will be the most likely associated condition with increased TSH and low T4. So there will be such options. There will be 4 options, and you will get a empty circles on the left side of the question. So when you select any option, so you will, after selecting the option, this circle will be filled with a black dot. So that means you have selected the answer. So whenever you attempt a question, then you will get 4 tabs below: previous, mark for review, and next. So when you attempt a question like, I think the answer is Hashimoto's disease, so I will mark Hashimoto's disease and I will say next. So you have to understand the color coding. So on the right side, you will get a timer. Timer will tell you how much time is left. So for example, in this exam, 60 minutes and 40 seconds are left. So it will be in minutes and seconds. So you can see different colors. So green means you have answered this question, right? You have completed this answer. Red means you have seen the question, you have read the question, but you have not answered it. 14 is not visited it. You have not even read the question. The purple color will tell you that you have answered the question, but you are not sure about the answer. So you would like to visit this question one more time and you might change the answer. So that is marked for review. So again, you should be very careful because as I told you guys, the AIMS pattern keeps changing. So read your instructions well. Sometimes the questions which are marked for review will not be considered for the evaluations, and sometimes they're considered for the evaluation. So make sure your every question that you have attempted should have a green color. That means you have answered the question. Okay. So why this kind of system is there? It helps you navigate because when you are done with the 200 question, now you want to see that which question you have not attempted. So all will be seen in red. So again, you can revisit this question. For example, if you have answered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but 6, 7 you have not answered, and then 8, 9, 10, 11 you have answered. So you don't have to start from the 1 again. You can just see that red and 7, 8 would be red. So you can directly go on 7 and 8 and you will try to answer that question again. So this is how you are going to navigate through the questions. Now, whenever you have done with the answer, when you are confused, you have to say the mark for review. Then this will turn into purple and you will be able to visit that question again. And by clicking previous and next, you will be able to navigate. Also, you have to keep your eye on how much time is left. So this is how will be the general pattern of the exam. This is a very simple single line question, but then there can be image based question having a histopathology slide, or it can be a X-ray or a CT scan. Now, the marking scheme. So as I told you in the beginning of this video, that AIMS always like to surprise. That there might be a, because as you know, it's a combination of different institutes who had a very different kind of patterns. Like Vijay Chandigarh has multiple answers. So, and they had JIPMER and Vijay Chandigarh also had reasoning and assertion. So you have to get familiar. Traditionally, AIMS had this kind of question pattern that correct answer will fetch you 1 mark and wrong answer will take 1/3 mark away. So 1/3 mark will be deducted if your answer is wrong. Then this was actually the scheme given in a INICET option. So if in a multiple true false, if it is correct, for every correct option you get plus 1/5, and for wrong, 1/5 mark will be deducted. And this is similarly for all the questions, all other type like be it a reasoning and assertion. So what is reasoning and assertion? So the assertion is a statement, and reasoning is you try to give reason whether why this statement is made. So you have to tell about whether the reasoning is valid, whether the reasoning is right or wrong. This will again fetch you a plus 1/4 mark for the correct and minus 1/4. So along in the all the options you say that you will see that single based response which fetch you correct one mark for correct and deducting 1/3 for wrong is a student friendly marking scheme. So this is in your favor. If you are attempting a question, single based response marking is going to be in your favor. That means if you are attempting 3 questions, if you get 2 questions right, that means you get 2 marks, but only 1/3 is deducted for each. So you will have a positive score in such a scenario. So when you attempt 6 questions and when you get 3 right and 3 wrong, that means your net will be net outcome for this particular question will be nil. That you will not lose any mark, you will not get any mark. So if you can take a risk in such kind of exam system. So we will concentrate on a single basis one, because when I talk to the students who have written INICET, most of them told me it's more of a single answer question, but there were some few questions which had a multiple options. So if there are multiple options, true or false, then you get 1/5 mark for each and minus 1/5. Again, suppose one question has a 5 options. So out of 5, if 3 are correct and 2 are wrong, So this is also a marking in your favor, because if you're going to attempt that question, you can get better marks. Okay. So you should always keep this marking system in your mind. Now, this is a very commonly asked question, that how many questions should I attempt? So the question paper totally will have a 200 marks. So guys, remember, there is a very fierce competition and you have to do your best. So what happens usually, out of 200 questions, even topper he will know around one, because the standard of exam is such that even a rank one he will be sure of 130, 140 questions. So he will mark them, and remaining 45 to 50, because the positive, the correct answer fetch you +2, and my wrong answer only deduct 1/3. So it is in your favor. The marking system is in your favor. So what he does, he tries to do intelligent guessing. So what is intelligent guessing? The answers which you are not sure of, you try to exclude the option based on your understanding. So you try to exclude the option and you try to guess. So even if you get half correct and half wrong of the questions which you have just you have done the guesswork, you will be in a positive. You will get a positive balance. So you will get more marks. That is why it is always advised that you should attempt 190 to 195 questions. And if you have seen the interview of the toppers for last 5-6 years, everyone has attempted nearly 190 to 195%. Only because the marking scale is in a student favor. So do not attempt at least less than 175 to 180. You should always attempt more than 180 questions, but I will suggest always attempt 190 to 195. Now, when you are attempting the AIMS question, so AIMS likes to give more of a practical based question. So that is why you should do your internship honestly. If you have done your internship well, you will be seeing a lot of procedures, you'll be seeing a lot of instruments, because AIMS should be asking you about simple questions like cannula, based on the color, what would be the gauge, what would be the flow rate, and whatever. That's why if you have worked in AIMS, what AIMS wants to see whether you have radio textbooks. There will be a lot of images, histopathology images you can get, ECGs you can get, or graphs you can get. All will be from the standard books. So in my previous videos, I have mentioned which all standard books you should refer to for such kind of images based questions. Also, when you get a multiple type questions like what PGI used to have, so PGI Chandigarh also literally lifts the paragraphs from the standard books. If you have gone through it, but it's not like must. If you have read your notes also, that is also enough. So whenever you're attempting a question, write a question. When try to attempt a question you're sure of, and for the questions which you don't know, try to do the intelligent guessing. Whether you try to exclude the options, and you have to use your critical thinking. Now, when you are sitting in a lab, because it's like whatever you have studied for last 6 months, 1 year, it's a very hectic, and suddenly you feel very fatigued. So what is important, that you should be focused and relaxed at the same time. You have to attack a single question. For one-liners question, your revision will matter. If you have done your revision well, your one-liner questions will be, you will get a more benefit. You will get answers from the spanner level. Now, AIMS, this NICT also comprises mostly of a lot of clinical questions. For a lot of clinical questions, I always advise read your options first. So whenever you see a lengthy question that there is a lot of data, a big paragraph is given, read your option first. So by reading option first, you know that what examiner exactly wants to ask. So now when you are reading your database, when you are reading your question, now you know what I am searching for in this question. If you read your question first, then you read again the answer, and then you will again come back to the question, because you did not focus on the things that examiner wanted to ask. So that is why it is always advised, either start from the options or start from the last line of the paragraph, that what examiner wants to ask you. Then coming to the image based questions. Most of the time people directly, there will be cities, there will be x-rays. So do not directly jump into pathology. Not try to search for the abnormal things. First try to understand what ये x-ray कहाँ का है, ये CT किस चीज का है. try to identify the organs, try to remember. Then when you approach this way, the chances of getting correct answer are more. If you're going to search directly, because what happens, aims questions there, I have said in my previous video also, the guy who is going to set a question paper, his experience is what is our current age. That guy is so experienced, he knows what mistakes you are going to commit. So he will give you a lot of misleading options. Even the first option would be misleading, that will be attracting you. So that's why you should think. You should read the question well. Ames questions are always tricky. They want to, because what they want to check, they don't want to check that how good you can mug up and how many things you can learn. What they want to see, how do you perform under stress? How is your critical thinking? Because when you will become a doctor, as they say, one day you'll be standing between someone's life and death. So during that period of stress, how will be your thinking? So they want to check how do you perform under the stress. That is why you should always read a question well, and you should not take it for granted. So whenever you are attacking a question, know the importance of the question. Even if reading it multiple times, thinking about, if you are not able to answer it, it's okay. You have 199 questions more. Do not get disheartened. What happened with me, I'll tell you. Initial 15 questions, I had no idea. I thought, why I'm writing this exam? This seems so difficult. But after that, next 3 questions, 30 questions were like a smooth ride. They were very easy questions. And that is what happens. Even if you get a lot of difficult questions, don't be disheartened. There will be a lot of easy questions. And let me tell you this, that a lot of toppers have already said this, that these are the easy questions that decide your ranking. People do a lot of silly mistakes. I have heard people saying, telling me that, they did so many silly mistakes and they would have not done it otherwise, but they don't understand what happened during that period. It is because you become anxious, you panic. So whenever you have an easy question, do not take it for granted. Your rank would be affected only because of the easy question. So you have to be very careful during the easy question. So guys, again, I wish you, that's all from my side regarding this INICET exam. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comment box. And I wish you guys best luck, and I wish all your dream come true. So comment, like, and subscribe, and share this video to your friends and colleagues who do you think that they'll get help from this video. Thank you guys.